View tiers in TikTok represent how the algorithm judges your content and shares it to the masses. I mentioned in the algorithm video about how your content is shown to sample audiences to judge its quality, and that's what the view tiers are. They are sample groups to judge your content, and at each stage, the content gets shown to an amount of viewers, then reviewed based on the interactions with the content, which then in turn tells your algorithm what to do next with the content. So, does it push it up a tier, or is that as far as your content is getting on this time? So, what are the tiers and how do they work? Now, again, we don't know exactly what the tiers are. You need to be a TikTok engineer to really know that. But we do know there are tiers, and for our purposes, 5 is around the right kind of number. So tier 1 is obtained by anyone who posts a piece of content. It is the starting point for every piece of content. In this tier, your content is shown to followers, of course, as well as anything up to a few hundred outsiders or a cold audience. So these people are within the interest group your content is going to be targeting. Then there is an evaluation period. This is where TikTok looks at the data from that video. How has it performed? What is the watch time on this? How many likes, comments and shares did it get compared to your other content or content within this interest group? And how quickly did it get those comments, likes and shares? It takes all of these details into account and then judges your content and either pushes it into tier 2 or just lets it sit for a while and then decides to reevaluate at a later date. So maybe a couple of days, a week later, you might find that that old video has been pushed again to new people. So tier 2 is the next stage. Let's say your content has passed the tests of tier 1. Now your content is going to be shown to another group of people. This time in the thousands of cold viewers again. With a similar process of evaluation with the metrics and judgment of the piece as well. Now, if it passes again and is done as well as the piece of content that other pieces in tier 2 are doing, you get into tier 3. Tier 3 is similar to the others, but again, a larger audience is being shown this piece of content. Now we're looking at getting into the hundreds of thousands of cold viewers, with then an evaluation period. But this is where it differs from the other tiers. You see, at this point, your content is at a virality breaking point. It's being shown to a lot of people, and if your content gets great results here, you're getting pushed up into the big leagues and being shown to millions of people potentially. So TikTok starts to really take this piece of content seriously and gives it a more thorough content review. Most likely this is performed by an AI, but there are conspiracy theories that there are people employed by TikTok to look at these videos manually. And what they look for is violations within the TikTok guidelines. So if you've used inappropriate content or if there's any copyright infringement, this is where that will be picked up and then subsequently shut down. But if it does pass that, you are now in the big leagues and you have officially gone viral. You're in tier 4 and you should be getting up to 1 million views on that piece of content. Then, if that does well at 1 million views, you can get to the influencer level, the lofty heights of tier 5. And that's the final tier. This is where your videos just go crazy. There is no limit on views, there are no more reviews of your content, it just keeps getting spread further and further and further. Now, with these tiers, you don't need to go through them all of the time. In fact, as your account grows and your account authority grows, you'll start to skip some tiers completely. For instance, do you think Charli D'Amelio has to go through tiers 1 to 3? No. Her content and her account have been performing so well for so long that she just now automatically gets onto tier 5 without anything. Her content will still get reviewed to make sure there are no infringements, but that's it. she automatically gets shown to millions of people. So as your account grows, you'll find that instead of those waves of views coming in as TikTok sees how good your content is, you'll see them going from maybe a couple of hundred views to start with to a couple of thousands, tens of thousands, just immediate views. And that is how the tier system works in TikTok.